Hafa Day and welcome to the beautiful island of Guam. I wanted to take you on a little journey with me. I've been on this island for about a year. Been really interested in the history and the culture of the island, and recently I've been looking into the stories, the legends, the folklore that are kind of the foundation for the culture. And I don't know everything about those, but I wanted to share a few of them with you so that we can all become a little bit more familiar with the background of such an incredible place. Well, I figured if we were going to start somewhere, we might as well start at the beginning. So brought you down to the south of the island to Umatic or Umatak Bay, and this is where the Chamorro creation story takes place. So back before time began, there were two gods, a brother and a sister, Puntan and Fouha, and they walked the vastness of the universe together. But one day, Puntan came to his sister and he said, "I'm dying, and when I die, I want you to make something beautiful out of my body with your creative powers." Well, naturally, Fouha didn't want to think about her brother dying, and so she put it out of her mind. But eventually, the day came, and Puntan died, and Fouha was there with his lifeless body in her arms, and she was just distraught. And she cried so much that all of her tears created the oceans. She saw what had happened, and she looked down at her brother's body, and she remembered what he had told her, and so she took his spine, his backbone, and she laid it out in the water, and that was the creation of the dry land. Trees started to come up and flowers, and she realized that it was beautiful, and so she continued. So she took his two eyes. She took one to create the sun, and then she took another one to create the moon. And she took his eyebrows, and his eyebrows became the rainbows, which there are many of on Guam, and you'll know that if you've ever been here. And when she finished, she was pretty pleased with her work, and she looked out, and it was beautiful. I mean, look at it. Pretty good job, right? But there was still something missing. The world was beautiful, but she was lonely without her brother. And so she decided that rather than live alone, she would join her brother in the creation. And so she came to a place where the oceans met the land, and she took some of the dirt and some of the water, and she encased herself in the earth, creating a giant stone. And when she had done that, out of that stone came beings that looked similar to her and her brother. And they were the first human beings. Some of them stayed in Guam and populated the island and became the Tautaumona, and then eventually the Chamorro people. And then others set off in their boats across the sea to populate the rest of the world. And you can still visit the stone today. It sits at the south of the island, just north of Umatic. It's called Fouha Rock.